All right, thank you for staying with us. It's still sports tonight, but don't forget to catch Kayode Akintemi and his partner tomorrow, sunrise on Saturday. But let's come back to our football now, gentlemen. Let's talk about our captain, Super Eagles captain, and first choice goalkeeper Vincent Ayama. I hope you guys understand that Vincent is just a few games away from 100 caps.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's just a few games away.
Yeah. So when Vincent is talking, we know someone is talking.
Yeah, and I mean, Yobo made the record during the World Cup, and Vincent is going to equal the record.
He even surpass this.
And surpass it, the way things are going.
As it stands now,
if we are able to qualify for the Nations Cup,
definitely.
He stands a really good chance of surpassing
of breaking the 100, because I think Yobo made the 100 and stopped at 100.
And it's been fantastic. It was even in goal for Lille yesterday.
Against Everton. Exactly. But the reason why we're talking about Vincent now is not about the 100 caps.
No.
It's because Vincent Ayama says that it's risky for Morocco to go ahead to host the Nations Cup in January because of the Ebola virus.
Well, I think really...
is this more pressure on CAF? Because the World Health Organization, Morocco the host, and a whole lot of persons are saying, look,
well, I think
this is a potential danger.
I think CAF needs to take it seriously. The question now is this. One, we know it is almost impossible to retain having the competition staged in 2015. Because if they postpone it from January, February,
what time are you going to put it?
What time are we going to fix it? That is the problem. We cannot play it in the summer because it's going to be really hot in northern parts of Africa in the summer. So it means that it has to be in January, February, which is the set date, and which is the date that FIFA is also accustomed to. Yeah. Secondly, we have to look at the Ebola outbreak. It's nobody's fault that this thing is happening right now. And I think it's...
In football, it's force majeure, you mean?
Yeah. So right now, we know a country like Seychelles actually put out of the qualifiers because of the Ebola outbreak. They would not host Sierra Leone. So they decided to stay away from it. It is difficult.
Their qualification to Sierra Leone.
Let it go. Let it go. Just take it. We would rather have our people in free, safe, and healthy condition. So I think Morocco may not be doing themselves a whole lot of good health-wise if they go ahead to stage the competition when there is no vaccine or a cure yet for the outbreak. And it's not about hosting 16 teams. No, it's more than that. It's about the fans, the thousands of, hundreds of thousands, probably in millions that will be, going into Morocco to witness the games. When they go there, can the Moroccan Health Ministry curtail or do something to really keep them in check?
But the question is this, because this is a question that we need to also ask ourselves. Can Africa as a whole? Are we saying we cannot handle? We cannot curtail. We cannot put structures in place between now and when the Nations Cup will take place to control all of that.
Exactly.
We need to make the sacrifices just to get the football going. And some people also tell you that, look, football is supposed to be the last on your list of priority. The human life and health
should be
is supposed to be top of the football.
That is what I'm thinking. I don't know how Africa wants to do this right now. It's just how many months to the Nations Cup. We have two footballs, and January we're Nations Cup. I don't know what can be done between now and then. But then they cannot take a risk. I mean, the Moroccans cannot take risk. Other countries who have given good excuses, like South Africa said, okay, twice we've come in as uninformed host. They took it over from Kenya in 1996 and away from Libya last year. They can't do it again. And Nigeria say, no, we have elections by February, we can't host. Look, we know it's more than that. No one wants to. We know how difficult it was to cope the Ebola spread here in Nigeria. Let alone having the rest of Africa and even some countries that
are you assuming that those who will want to come for the Nations Cup in Morocco are going to be carrying the virus?
They will not know.
Are you assuming?
We have to give room for that, really, because some of the people who have died from it didn't even know they were carriers until it got so serious and they were tested positive. So it happens. You just go in and you feel you're okay, you're fine.
How about putting very strict restrictions? I mean, very, very strict conditions there for you to come into Morocco.
Going into Morocco. Let's have it this way. I think all of that will happen when you get to Morocco, right? What about the people you've probably had contact with at the airport, in the airplane, before you even
get tested? But Ebola can be transmitted when you have not shown, when it's not full blown on you.
I think they said it's a case of
after
2-3 weeks and all that.
So these are very complex issues that CAF will also argue about. Before it can move from one person to the other, it's full blown on one person. Before another person can pick it up.
If you look at Eyama's side, he has his own points. Tolu has his own point too. But looking at it very well, how would they want a situation whereby the Nations Cup will still continue? Okay, the Ebola outbreak now, it's been on for like a few months now. I think, okay, now from now to January, Africa, we're a bigger continent of over 1 billion people. I think there is what we should be able to do before that January to curtail this. Probably it's a case of visiting teams, coming to the airport. Okay, there's a way we're going to check them, try to get world-class medics around. At least show to the world.
Wouldn't they be spending way too much just trying to curb the spread, even before the tournament gets started?
All right,
who will finance that?
You know,
we had this discussion a couple of days ago, and I think it's not too bad to revisit it now that Vincent has joined in the crusade. Talk to us about it, and talk about it from the angle of Vincent, particularly those of us who are Nigerians. Talk about it from the angle of Vincent. Vincent is the captain of the Super Eagles of Nigeria. I don't know whether to be fair for us to assume that he's speaking on behalf of the Eagles. He should be speaking in his own capacity as Vincent Enyeama. But you can talk to us about it. What do you feel? Vincent says it's risky to go ahead with the Nations Cup because of the Ebola virus. What do you think? That is the captain of the Nigerian team making that pronouncement.
But we'll read your... If Vincent is talking, someone is talking.
Vincent is talking. He's talking for himself.
I think we should say Vincent is talking for himself.
For himself, not for the team.
Not for the team.
Not for Nigeria. We will read your comments as we go along. But talk to us about it and let us know exactly what you feel. But let's go on to some other things, of course, of interest. And this one has been going clean, no worries. The girls have been playing in Namibia, and CAF is also saying, look, the girls have been playing. No complaints, no worries. Teams have come from Ghana, teams have come from Nigeria.
8 teams. How many fans travel down? What is the difference?
You could argue. But let's talk about the African Women Championship final. 7 p.m. Nigerian time, tomorrow at the Sam Nujoma Stadium in Windhoek, Namibia. It's going to be Nigeria seeking to win the title for the 7th time, Cameroon seeking to win it for the 1st time. And I remember there was a particular year we had this same setting. Nigeria, Cameroon in the final. Perpetua scored 4 goals in the 5-0 thrashing of Cameroon. I think it will happen again. I'm not saying Perpetua scoring 4 goals. Maybe Oshola scoring 3 or 4.
But this time around, we have to look at it very well. Okay, I was so optimistic these girls will qualify for the World Cup. But this time around, this Cameroonian side, they are very strong. They are physical. Now, what they're going to do now is, okay, you have to look at their track record from the group stages down to the semi-finals. They can score goals and they can also concede goals. So that's an advantage.
They've not been as convincing as Nigeria.
They've not been as convincing as Nigeria, but they have this physicality in them. Now they will look at the likes of Oshuala, the likes of Opanoze. How can we stop these ladies? They will look at the likes of Odega, even Okobi. These guys have been fantastic. They'll look for a way of stopping them tomorrow. That is one thing that might affect us tomorrow. Probably they want to get us on the counter. But notwithstanding, I think we have good to go strikers. No matter how they try to curtail the girls, I think we'll still be able to get the victory tomorrow. Even if it's still going to be a slim margin, 1-0, 2-1, we'll still be able to get the victory tomorrow. But it's going to be very, very tight for the Falcons tomorrow.
Well, before I come to you, Tolu, let's also inform you that Nigeria and Cameroon have 2 of the 3 tickets for Africa to the 2015 FIFA Women's World Cup in Canada. The final ticket to the World Cup for Africa is between South Africa and Cote d'Ivoire, and that will be in the losers final. The losers final will be 3 hours before the final game, so we'll sort that one out before Nigeria plays.
Yeah, and really, I'm expecting us to win that game 3-0. I think the first problem I have now is...
You're expecting us to win 3-0?
3-0.
No disrespect to Cameroon?
No disrespect to Cameroon. With all due respect, I expect us to win 3-0. Desire Paranozi, I expect her to be on the score sheet again. And I also have to say that the way I spoke about the way Coach Edwin Okon tweaked the team in a game against Namibia. I think really affected them against